What if you're doing far better financially than you think? Because most people judge their financial success by the wrong matrix: income, lifestyle, or how luxurious their life looks from the outside. But the real signs of being financially well are quieter. They show up in your habits, not in your headlines. They're hidden in the way you spend, the way you save, and the way you make your decisions. They show up in your calmness when a bill arrives, in your ability to say no to an unnecessary purchase, or in your confidence that your family is protected no matter what happens next. You don't need a crore in your account to be financially well. You just need control, consistency, and clarity. So in this video, we're not talking about how rich you look. We're talking about the 7 subtle, powerful signs that show deep down that you're already doing financially well, even if you haven't realized it yet. Sign number 1. You have a little or no debt, and that says a lot about you. Now, earning a huge salary isn't an indicator of financial well-being. Rather, it's about how much control you have over the money that you earn. So, for example, if you have zero debt, or even if you have EMIs, which is not a bad thing at all, but that take up only a sensible portion of your income, and that says something powerful about you. It means you've built control over your financial impulses. You're not chasing every new gadget, car, or lifestyle upgrade just because someone else has it. You are driven by the need, not the noise. It also shows that you have developed financial maturity, which is the ability to separate wants from necessities. Even when you buy something on EMI, it is not always an emotional or an impulsive decision. It's an efficient one. Maybe it's a laptop that helps you perform better and will help you grow professionally, or a house that provides stability. You're using credit as a tool, not as a trap. You're using credit to make growth-oriented investments for yourself, or to solve for efficiency for yourself and your family. There is also a simple rule of thumb here to track if you are overly dependent on EMIs or not. Your total EMIs should never exceed 30% of your monthly income. So if you earn 1 lakh a month, your EMIs across all loans, be it home, car, etc., should ideally stay under 30,000. Now that balance assures your lifestyle remains sustainable, your savings stay consistent, and you have room to invest or handle surprises without stress. Having low or no debt reflects not just smart money management, but also emotional intelligence. It shows restraint in a world that is constantly telling you to spend more. And it signals confidence that you can afford comfort, but you also know when to stop. Now that's real financial strength, not in how much you buy, but in how much mindfully you buy it. Sign number 2. You're not addicted to convenience lifestyle beyond your means. Now, there are people who are earning 2 lakhs a month, but they're always stressed about their next bill. And others who are earning 70,000 who sleep peacefully every night. So if you're not constantly waiting for your next salary to feel safe, you're already doing financially well, because that means you've learned the hardest part of personal finance, which is managing your daily lifestyle. And I'm not talking about you having monthly EMIs or some other kind of debt. I am assuming you have none of it. The issue with some people is that they spend money without having any tracking whatsoever. It is not that you're spending on luxury goods or buying new stuff every day, but there are small mini luxuries to support your day that end up eating your possible savings. I'll explain that with an example. Your entire day is dictated by having too much comfort. The modern world of convenience has spoiled you so much, you are now used to it. 1 to 2 Blinkit orders every single day, having one meal ordered on a daily basis from Zomato, taking cabs daily when you could have taken a metro, working from cafes frequently, whereas a 1,000 rupee bill is confirmed, whereas you could have taken a co-working pass that costs much cheaper. Now you can do all of this. There is no harm in it, but you ask yourself, has your income really reached that level where you can choose to spend on such daily luxuries and comfort? Now, during the entire month, you haven't started any new EMI or purchased something expensive like a gadget, but these mini daily expenses are now responsible for eating up your savings. So if this is not the case with you in 2025, you're absolutely winning. Sign number 3, you have an incremental savings rate. If your savings rate is growing year after year, even slightly, that is one of the clearest signs that you're doing financially well. Because wealth isn't built in leaps, it is built in layers. Let's say you started by saving 5,000 rupees a month when you started working. A few years later, you're saving now 10,000, then 15,000, and slowly and steadily, the rise might not look exciting, but it is the purest form of financial progress. And there is data to back this up. A 2019 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that people who raised their savings rate even by just 1 to 2% every year were 3 times more likely to achieve long-term financial independence than those who did not. Similarly, Fidelity's Save More Tomorrow experiment showed that participants who committed to small automatic increases in in savings ended up saving over 40% more within 5 years without feeling a lifestyle pinch. The same pattern holds true in India as well. According to RBI's Household Financial Savings Report 2023, the average Indian household saves about 19 to 20% of its disposable income. But the gap between savers and non-savers is widening. The top 20% of urban households, those who consciously grow their savings rate, now account for nearly half of all financial assets in the country. Yeah, you heard that right. I can't emphasize this stat enough. Nearly half of all financial assets in the entire country. So if every year you're increasing your savings rate even by 2%, you're quietly joining that minority that is building lasting wealth. Because it shows something deeper than numbers. It means your financial discipline is improving, it means you're resisting lifestyle inflation, and it means you're not just earning more, you're learning more about how to keep it. The smartest investors don't just grow their income, they grow their saving habits as well. Sign number 4, you're realistic about your income and you don't compare it with others. Now let me tell you a fact that will absolutely blow your mind. A global Pew Research study 2022 found that over 65% of people who felt financially unhappy actually earned above average incomes. Their dissatisfaction came from comparison, not from real financial distress. In an age where everyone's salary, side hustle and luxury purchase finds its way to Instagram or LinkedIn, it is easy to feel like you're falling behind. Someone's posting their startup exit, someone just bought their first car, somebody flexing a 6-figure bonus, and suddenly your own achievements feel smaller. But here's the truth. Financial success isn't relative, it's personal. And I would like to personally tell you that this one is pretty easy to resolve as well. See, whatever growth you're seeing in somebody's life, try to understand its context. Try to understand their journey. More often than not, what you'll see is that particular someone has been working really hard, or it has taken him a lot of time to reach there, or that person took some risks that you have never taken. So what this will do is, number 1, once you recognize the reason behind someone's financial success, you will react from a place of realism rather than jealousy. And number 2, most importantly, now that you have become an observer or a learner of why someone has done well, you'll be able to implement these learnings in your own life as well. Sign number 5, no compromises on building your career. One of the biggest signs that you're doing financially well is that you take your career seriously, not casually. Because no matter how disciplined your savings or investments are, the biggest driver of wealth will always be your earning capacity. And that comes only when you treat your career like an asset, something that needs to be nurtured, upgraded, and compounded. If you're actively learning new skills, taking on challenging projects, seeking better opportunities, or even switching roles when growth stalls, you're already doing better than most. You're not taking your job for granted and you're investing in yourself. It's easy to get comfortable, guys, to stay where you are because the salary is decent or the work is easy, but stagnation has a hidden cost. Every year that you don't grow, inflation quietly eats away your real income, and data backs this up. According to a LinkedIn Workforce Report 2023, professionals who upgraded their skills or switched to higher growth roles saw salary jumps of 25 to 40% within just 2 years, while those who stayed saw a static less than 8% average annual growth, often below inflation. Your career decisions directly shape your financial trajectory. Saying yes to growth even when it's uncomfortable shows long-term thinking. It reflects that you value time, effort, and potential, because money obviously doesn't just grow in markets, it grows in you. So if you're consciously improving, networking, learning, and stepping outside your comfort zone, you're not just doing well professionally, you're doing well financially. The financial wellness isn't just about how you manage money, it's also about how you earn it. Sign number 6, you have become financial disciplined around active decisions that revolve around your family's financial security. Now, this one is absolutely important. At some point, financial maturity stops being about you and starts being about the people who depend on you. One of the clearest signs that you're doing financially well is that you've become disciplined about the active decisions that protect your family's future. Because the real problem isn't lack of awareness, it's lack of execution. Most people already know what they should do, which is, for example, buying a health insurance, starting an SIP, or filing taxes on time, but they postpone it. They'll spend hours researching credit cards but won't check their CIBIL score. They'll call their financial advisor back next week, but that week never comes. And that is where the gap lies between knowing and doing. If you've crossed that gap, you've started that SIP, renewed that health insurance policy, updated your nominee details, filed your returns on time, or even just created a simple family emergency fund and did the Dakhil Kharij or the transfer of ownership process of your paternal property after your father's or mother's death, you're already ahead of most. Because it shows something deeper than just financial discipline, it shows responsibility. It shows that you're no longer living reactively, you're planning, preparing, and protecting. According to a 2022 Max Life Insurance survey, nearly 70% of urban Indians say that they understand the importance of financial protection, but less than 35% have actually sufficient coverage or active plans in place. Now that's a gap you have closed. You're not waiting for a crisis to learn the lesson. You're building systems that make your family stronger, safer, and more secure. And when your financial life stops revolving around avoidance and starts revolving around action, that is when you truly know you're doing financially well. Sign number 7. You don't change your financial path frequently. One of the clearest signs that you're truly doing financially well is that you've stopped changing your financial strategy every few months. Because in a world of noise from stock tips, WhatsApp groups to top mutual funds for 2025 videos, staying consistent has quietly become a superpower. Most investors don't lose money because they pick bad products. They lose because they don't stay long enough with the good ones. Value Research, an Indian investment research organization, found that investors who stopped their SIPs within 3 years saw less than half the returns of those who continued for 7 years or more. Data from AMFY, Association of Mutual Funds in India, shows that SIPs older than 5 years have delivered over 12 to 13% average annual returns, while short-term SIPs under 2 years averaged below 6%. Now the gap isn't performance, it's patience. If you have reached a stage where your SIPs run automatically, your portfolio is diversified, and you are no longer reacting to every market dip or headline, that's real financial maturity. It means you trust your process more than your predictions. Even Indian market veterans like Nilesh Shah and Prashant Jain repeat the same lesson. Wealth creation doesn't depend on timing the market, but on time in the market. So if you've learned to review occasionally but to not restart constantly, to refine without resetting, you've crossed the line from changing wealth to building it. Consistency isn't boring, it's a compound interest in disguise. So this is it, guys. So tell us in the comments below which signs that you personally resonate with, signs that we might have potentially missed, and subscribe to the channel for more such videos.